The New Capos. The film opens with violent execution in Sonora, Mexico. A new cartel alliance, La Corona, led by several young capos, takes over major trafficking routes. They are smarter, digitally advanced, and far more ruthless than their predecessors. The U.S. intelligence community is alarmed. The balance of power has shifted. A message is found carved into a rival's body. We rule now. Alejandro survives. Alejandro, who survived the execution attempt in Soldado, has been living silently under a new identity. Haunted by the betrayal, he operates as a ghost, helping families flee cartel zones. He gets news that Miguel, the boy who shot him, has become a foot soldier for La Corona. Alejandro realizes he must re-enter the war, not for revenge, but to break the cycle that made Miguel what he is. Graver's new mission. Matt Graver is reinstated under strict political oversight after the botched operations of the second film. Washington pressures him to dismantle La Corona without sparking a public scandal. Graver recruits a small off-the-books team, knowing official channels won't work. He tells his deputy, "We're at war with ghosts. We need a ghost of our own." He begins searching for Alejandro. Reunion in the desert. Alejandro ambushes Graver's convoy in the Sonora desert, believing the team is hunting him. Instead, Graver offers him a deal: full immunity and resources to destroy La Corona. Alejandro initially refuses, tired of endless violence. But when he learns La Corona's rising capo is Miguel, something changes in his eyes. He says only, "I'll finish this." Enter the capos. La Corona's capos are introduced. El Sable, former Sicario with military tactics. La Reina, a cold mastermind running digital trafficking networks. Brujo, a cartel evangelist who brainwashes recruits like a cult. They plan to expand into Arizona and New Mexico. Their ambition: become the first cartel empire, not just a criminal group. Ghost operations begin. Graver, Alejandro, and a select team perform covert raids on La Corona's operations. No arrests, no media, pure black ops. They destroy labs, seize weapons, and sabotage bank accounts. But every strike pushes La Corona to retaliate with increasing brutality. Civilians begin dying in crossfire, raising moral tension. Miguel's transformation. Miguel is promoted by El Sable for his precision and fearlessness. He becomes Brujo's prize recruit, fed propaganda about power and destiny. Miguel kills without hesitation, trying to bury his guilt over shooting Alejandro. He wears a mask during operations, earning the nickname El Huérfano, the orphan. Rumors spread that he cannot be killed. Raid on the cult house. Alejandro and Graver infiltrate one of Brujo's indoctrination camps. Dozens of child soldiers are found inside, armed and conditioned. Alejandro freezes when he sees how young they are. The team rescues some, but Brujo escapes with Miguel. Alejandro whispers, "It should have been me who died." Political interference. The Secretary of State learns Graver is running illegal black ops again. He threatens to shut the operation down and expose them publicly. Graver responds, "You created this problem. We're just cleaning it up." The politicians decide to intervene in their own way by secretly negotiating with La Corona. This betrayal will soon backfire. The ambush. La Corona plants false intel that lures Graver's team into an ambush. Explosives destroy 3 vehicles. Several operatives die brutally. Alejandro barely saves Graver from being executed on camera. El Sable films the aftermath as propaganda. La Corona declares open war on the U.S. Darkness spreads. Terror attacks occur in border towns, coordinated by La Reina's digital network. The cartel uses drones, GPS jam convoys, and cyber warfare. A new kind of cartel. The U.S. government publicly denies involvement, but privately panics. Families flee en masse, creating a refugee crisis. Alejandro realizes Miguel is being turned into the cartel's perfect weapon, the interrogation. Alejandro captures a mid-level Sicario who knew Miguel. The Sicario reveals that Miguel idolizes Alejandro and believes he is still alive as a myth. Alejandro's face cracks. He never wanted to become a legend. He vows to save Miguel or kill him before the cartel destroys his soul. Graver warns him, "Sentiments how you die." Betrayal from Washington. The U.S. secretly sends weapons to La Corona to avoid full-scale conflict, hoping to control them. Graver discovers the truth. His own government has become another capo. He and Alejandro decide to go rogue. They cut all communication and operate fully off-grid. They plan one final strike. Take down the 3 capos in one coordinated hit. Operation Sundown. The team splits into 3 units. Alejandro hunts El Sable. Graver targets La Reina's cyber compound, a mercenary group aimed for Brujo. Everything must happen simultaneously to collapse the alliance. Failure means a new global cartel empire. Alejandro versus El Sable. Alejandro infiltrates El Sable's fortress in a grim, silent sequence. The two engage in a brutal hand-to-hand fight. Alejandro kills El Sable, but is wounded. Then Miguel appears, masked, armed, shaking. Alejandro whispers his name, and Miguel freezes. Graver versus La Reina. Graver leads a violent assault on La Reina's server bunker. La Reina detonates a self-destruct system, killing her own men to escape. Graver corners her, but she shoots herself to avoid capture. The servers collapse, shutting down cartel communications. The digital empire of La Corona falls offline. The cult falls. Brujo attempts to flee with dozens of indoctrinated teens. The mercenaries stop him, but the children are terrified and heavily armed. Alejandro arrives and speaks Miguel's old childhood name. One by one, the kids lower their guns. Brujo is captured alive, a rare victory. Miguel's choice. Miguel removes his mask, tears streaming. He asks Alejandro why he spared him a year ago. Alejandro replies, "Because you deserved a life I never had." Miguel chooses to leave the cartel and surrender. Alejandro tells Graver, "Cycle end with him." Aftermath. The U.S. government publicly takes credit for dismantling La Corona. Graver and Alejandro are erased from all reports. Miguel enters a witness relocation program with Alejandro, overseeing his protection. Violence at the border decreases, for now, but both men know peace never lasts. Final scene, the new war. Alejandro visits the ruins of Brujo's camp at sunrise. A drone descends beside him with a message. "We are the future. You cannot stop what comes next." It's from a new unknown cartel faction. Alejandro looks into the desert. Expression cold, resolute. Fade out. Sicario will return.